What's up, guys? OC's Finest, back with you again. And today we have Paul, new member edition of Team OC. Today he just won the Cross World Release Tournament. Proud of him. So he's going to talk about his deck list and what he won with. And let's get right into it.
Played the best lead of the format, in my opinion. Frieza, Bionic Frieza. Your super combo of choice is definitely Shugesh. He's definitely the best one. So for those, we go 3 of the Kid Goku. Definitely 3, I think, is right. 3 King Vegeta. 3 Bardock, the TP card. 4 8 Prince Vegeta, giving us 7 targets total for the Apes. And then 2 of the big King Vegeta. And then for the broken extra cards, like broken, 4 Planet Vegetas. Probably the best card in the deck in my opinion, honestly. 4 March of the Great Apes. Put the foil one on top because it's foil. Second best card in the deck after Planet Vegeta. And then, ironic enough to say, Cold Bloodlust, probably the worst extra card in the deck. I can't even believe I'm saying it, but it is probably the worst extra card in the deck, but it's needed. Then going into the blue, we have 3 Majin Buu, just filter. 3 Objection, always been good, especially with this leader. 3 Coercion, a little bit of defense. Then we got 4 Senzu Bean. With this leader specifically, this card is nuts, absolutely nuts. And then I play like a really small green package. I play 2 Energy Power Gotenks. Then I play 2 King Vegeta Surprise Attack. And then for my overall cards, I play 2 Time Patrol Trunks. And then 1 Mass Saiyan. And then for the sideboard, I play 3 Yajirobe, 3 Jocko, 3 Sun Gotens, 3 Father Son Kamehameha, a 3rd King Vegeta Surprise Attack, and 2 Nimbus. So with the big guy in general, he's searchable. Every single card inside of this main board is searchable except for the Mass Saiyan. And because everything in this deck is searchable, you want to hard draw certain cards that you're okay hard drawing and not hard draw other cards that you do not want to hard draw. And he's one of the cards that you definitely don't want to hard draw. Ideally, you're going to Shugesh on your turn and combo out for the 3-drop King Vegeta, and then use your 3 energy and evolve into your big King Vegeta. That's ideally the situation. So every King Vegeta that you have after that is normally irrelevant unless that you know that your opponent's playing a lot of revenge, in which case you're probably not going to swing with him. That's just when you as a player have to know better than to do certain things. So to me, once one sticks, that's all you need. The other one, normally, if I ever draw it at that point, it's normally a combo or a charge.
And then your 10K doesn't draw you a card, but what it does is it lets you summon a 4 or less 8. So most of the time, were you using it in the early game just for the King Vegeta and the Goku?
So it lets me drop a 4 or less, or 3 or less Saiyan. Sorry.
Oh, 3 or less.
Yeah, 3 or less Saiyan is what it lets me drop out of hand, which gives me these 3 Gokus as targets, these 3 King Vegetas as targets, and these 2 Energy Power Gotenks, and realistically, also these Time Patrol Trunks, but that never happens. So that's realistically all your targets. So, you normally have 8 targets that you want to drop with him. Defensively, everybody already knows the combo. You Shugesh and bring out a Goku and pop the attacking target, and the attack cease and desist pretty much. This is by far, in my opinion, is going to be the best card in the format. I think bar none. I don't think there's even going to be close to a second best card in the format. There's a reason why it's like a $25 foil as a common card. So for me, the draw is not as important, especially since every other card inside this deck almost either replaces itself or just draws cards, right? So you have Planet Vegeta replaces itself, March is drawing 2, Buu's drawing, your leader is just extra card replacing itself, drawing from your life. That it's perfectly fine to just have a Shugesh, put more pressure on your opponent, and especially being able to Shugesh and make your crit attacker 30k is really big, especially when you're dropping a King Vegeta behind it and then protecting your guy with barrier right after that by evolving. There's so many things you can do with Shigesh inside of this deck, and it's kind of ridiculous, to be quite honest with you, with this leader.
So. And then since you play the green package, I know you can Shigesh out the Go tanks,
which is big, huge.
That's really cool.
That's huge.
So you don't even have to use the green mana to summon him.
Exactly.
Can you tell us about the King Vegeta surprise attack? Like, tell people why you're playing that card right now.
So, I've been test playing Apes for probably close to 2 weeks now, if not a little bit longer. And one of the only things to get around barrier, everybody's been trying to figure out, and everybody kept on saying Jiren. Revenge gets around barrier, and if your deck is based around blockers that are swinging and standing back up, then having King Vegeta surprise attack that makes your blocker have revenge, and permanent 10k, is crazy in the mirror match, especially if you're playing somebody that doesn't that does swing in with their big King Vegeta that gives everybody barrier. Getting this off the board is really crucial, because then you can start popping their stuff with Goku and things like that. So, blocking and then King Vegeta surprise attacking on this when they invested, 6 energy total, most likely 3 here and 3 here, is so strong, ridiculously strong. So, the surprise attack, in my personal opinion, is going to be main boarded, if not sideboarded, in every, top 16, top 32 list in the meta, because this deck exists.
Yeah. All right, so that's the main deck. Pretty standard for the extra deck cards for the natural.
Yeah.
Mecha Frieza decks.
Yep.
But for the side deck, let's go to the side deck.
Sure.
For the side deck, let's explain the Yajirobe.
So, same idea as the King Vegeta surprise attack. Revenge is really real against barrier cards. So being able to just bring out a Yajirobe, have it stick against Apes, because Apes doesn't naturally have a lot of destruction. Mm-hmm. Unless they're playing a heavy green lineup with Kale, that's when your Bloodlust has to do work there. Yajirobe is going to 1-for-1 on one of their Apes, most likely, which is a really big deal. So Yajirobe for me, and I think this format is actually going to move away from Set 2. Set 2 was all about, Super Saiyan Goku, the leader, starter coup, of dropping a Kale, dropping a Beerus, dropping a Gohan, popping consistently 1 or 2 cards per turn. I think that this format's too fast for that kind of a deck to exist, and because of that, I feel like a card like Yajirobe that has revenge really comes into your favor. You playing 2 energy and taking care of something that's 4 or 5 energy is a great trade-off.
All right, and then the Father Son Kamehameha.
Father Son Kamehameha is in there for Cell. That's 1. Android 2, and then also in the mirror match, if they don't have the King Vegeta, the big ape that gives everybody barrier, normally the March turn for them is turn 3. So when they have turn 3, they have 2 guys that are 4 with 3 energy. So the Father Son Kamehameha is just 1 simple card to rid myself of one of the threats at the very least. And if not, then it's an easy charge for my green to make sure that my King Vegeta surprise attack is live,
so
and
you
I don't have to take a life.
Yeah, you don't have to take a life. And then let's go to the Nimbus.
So
I'm surprised you weren't actually main decking this.
Yeah, so Nimbus was in the main deck for the longest before the blue engine went in. And I was talking to our teammate Donnie, and I told him, hey, why aren't we running blue? Blue just seems ridiculously strong inside this deck with objection and whatnot. And if we do run blue, we get to run coercion, which means that Nimbus could go to the sideboard. And we just found it to be better in the sideboard over the main, because Nimbus really, really performs really well in the mirror match and against decks that go really wide like Pan. Every other matchup, it really underperforms. Coercion is just better. You could take life and untap a yellow if you need it, or a green for King Vegeta. You could do so many more things in the main deck with coercion, and it's blue for objection. But in the mirror match, Nimbus is one of the best cards, especially if they make the mistake of swinging with their leader first. So that's just a little tip. If you guys feel like your opponent has Nimbus, do not swing with your leader first. Get the most out of your attacks. Attack in with a battle card. That way, if they Nimbus there, you still have a leader attack and 1 more battle card attack. Whereas, if you attack with your leader first and they Nimbus, you're only getting 1 battle card attack, which is a huge trade-off. Nimbus is just a strong card in the sideboard, in my opinion.
And then the Go tanks, or the Goten.
The Goten, ridiculously strong against androids and cells. So Android 17, the one that stops you from drawing, I don't know what it's called, sorry.
The one that...
Chilling Terror? Is it Chilling Terror?
It might be, I think
it's Chilling Terror. The one that stops you from drawing when you awaken. That card can punk you a little bit in this deck, because the deck, as you can see in the main board, really only has 1 card to destroy things that are inactive, which is a Mass Saiyan.
For a board wipe.
Yeah, for a board wipe. It's the only card that can really do it. So cards like that can get extremely annoying. So Son Goten to me was just a really quick answer. And then I also feel like people think, or people are starting to realize that cards like Yajirobe and Android 16 are really good against Apes, and Sun Goten clears them out. And the biggest thing about Sun Goten, the biggest reason why I like to side him, is with the King Vegeta, it reduces the cost of all Saiyans in your hand by 1 for the combo cost. So it becomes a 0 plus 5k free pop.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's really, really broken. And he's also agreeing that I can charge for King Vegeta surprise attack. Normally most matchups that he's really good against, the Gotenks is not really good against. So it's a pretty easy, you know, swap out, and then you just find out one other card that you don't want to have in there. And that's about it for me. As far as those cards are concerned, Jocko obviously in there for the Vegeta aggro matchups, you know, getting rid of the Champa. Protecting your life in this deck, I'll say that, is really, really, really crucial. Do not allow your opponent to dictate a certain amount of steam or amount of tempo against you. Don't let them dictate what life you're at. Really, once you get to 3, those last 2 life that you go down to 1 for should be you dictating them from a Sensu Bean, from a Cold Bloodlust, from a King Vegeta surprise attack. It should not be your opponent forcing you to take those life. So life in this deck is really, really important. People get too hasty to go and awaken turn 1, and I feel like that's just not where you want to be in this format with as quick as it is right now.
Yeah. All right. So explain. Let's get into like your matches. How do you feel about the matches, and how do you feel the meta is gonna go from here?
Okay, so in my opinion, this is the best deck in the format. Currently, until somebody figures out what can counter it, and I think the only person that can figure out how to counter it is gonna be Bandai when they hit this leader. Honestly, the deck is really ridiculous, and in my opinion, the GT deck in comparison to this deck is not very good, because the GT deck can brick, and the GT deck, if it does not get its combo off or if it gets held up in any way, shape, or form, will lose to a deck like this. Especially since this combo here exists in Shugeisha and Goku. That just, to me, this deck is definitely the best deck in the format. Other decks that I feel like are strong is I do feel like the GT deck is strong and it could get a lot of wins. I don't feel like it could win an event, but I feel like it could definitely top an event, 100%. It's very powerful turn 2 kill. My matchups today, personally, I played mirror match round 1. That was my 1 loss of the day. That was the person that would be in the finals. Round 2, what did I play against? I played against, I'm not even sure. Oh, I played against started Goku, round 2. And then round 3, I played against the GT Frieza build. And then round 4, I played against a Bardock deck. And that deck, I think, can actually be really good. The Massane Bardock that mills 3 and gains crit. I think that deck is actually going to be this format's Vegeta, if it's built correctly. But realistically, this deck does too much. Planet Vegeta does too much. March does way too much. For 2 energy, being able to take a life, draw 1, draw 2, drop 2 apes, attack with them, stand them back up. You know, they both have blocker. It's too much to deal with, in my opinion. So to me, this deck, and I'm not going to say that this list per se, this is, you know, what I like to play, but probably
going to be the strongest deck of the meta, you feel?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like, it's the first deck that I felt like it's really unfair to play against, or play with and against.
And then consistency-wise, how do you feel? Like,
it's
super
so hard to break.
Or like...
It's so hard to break, because realistically, like, the 4 Planet Vegetas, you're going to mull for these cards most of the time, right? You have Majin Buu as a starter card. This guy searches your apes to get going. Your objections get you going so that you can march turn 2, which is ridiculously insane because you're getting 2 more cards. The deck it's so hard to break. Like today, even, to be honest with you, I might have played a total in 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. I probably played a total of 5 marches over the course of 8 matches, and you know, Planet Vegeta, there was like 3 or 4 matches I didn't see that card at all. And the deck is still so good because you're hard dropping a 4-drop that has crit that stands back up, searches for apes. Like it's just too strong in my opinion. People talk about power creep. I don't like to talk about that word power creep too much, or that idea. But this deck definitely does probably way more than it should be capable of doing, just because of certain cards enabling it to do so.
All right. Yeah, well, that's the deck list, guys. You know, get a good look at it. Try it out. Please try it out. Yeah. You guys will probably like it, especially if you guys like yellow blue. But yeah, it was a great tournament. Good showing. We're proud of Paul. You know, one of his first tournaments he's played with us. The full team, win with the full team.
Yes, sir.
And you know, you took it home, bro.
Thank God.
Yeah. So we're proud of you. Again, guys, shout out to the sponsors. Card Game Coliseum, Card Addiction, Gem Playmats, and Overdose. Check them all out. Until then, guys, we'll speak with you again soon.